It is showtime. Hello, welcome to our live stream. Lovely to see you. I hope you are feeling snuggly because I am. I have my blanket, have my cup of tea, I have my cat right here, and we're just going to do a general sort of cruise chat today. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and start it with question. If you can put it in capital letters, it just helps me to pick out what is a question. So I hope you guys are doing well. It really doesn't I don't think it has actually got light enough to turn off the lamps today. Like, it is such a rainy, cold, dark day. So it's nice to have this live stream. You know, in this room, I have my studio lights on. It's daytime. It could be summer. And we'll go with that. But yes, so nice to see so many of you already in here. I see some questions already, so I'm going to hop straight into those. If you do want to sort of increase the chance of me answering your question, keep it as short as possible, just because I don't want to I love reading, but I don't want to make you all stop and watch me read. So a lovely question like this one from Lucas. How is Hudson? He's doing great. I don't know if you saw him a second ago, but he's just had his dreamies and gone. Yeah, he might come back. He knows where the dreamies are. He knows where I am. But yeah, he's doing pretty well. Thank you very much for asking. I've been thinking today. So it's not long until this guy, First Mate Rolo, starts arriving if you ordered him. And I have donated the first amount to charity. The next amount still to come, but that's very exciting. I love that. That's the most amazing part, getting to donate the money and also seeing everyone taking pictures. So I'm starting to think about the next one already because it takes quite a long time. So for the start of next year, oh, Hudson's maybe coming back. And I'm thinking of doing a duo, a two-pack, one Hudson and one Rolo with something that is matching. So we could have, you know, we've got all kinds of different costumes that we've had through these different versions, but it could be, you know, Hudson's wearing a shirt and it matches Rolo's, you know, neck scarf or collar or something like that. So let me know if you have any ideas about something that would be cool to do together, like a couple's outfit. Not that they're a couple, but that would be very, very cute. So yeah, please let me know. I'm really excited for them to arrive. But as soon as they arrive, obviously I get people asking when can they order them. And if I can already have a plan and a wait list in place, I think that would be really cool. I know a lot of you missed out on Captain Hudson. I don't want to stop doing Rolo, so I think the combo works pretty well. Yeah, you can always get one for yourself, you know, give one to someone else, spread the word. That would be cool. Lots of interesting ideas in here. Yeah, I don't want it to be anything too extreme. I just want it to be obvious that they are together and that they are who they are, if that makes sense. Yes, for sure. Only sailed with P&O. Which Marella ship would be a good comparison to start with? So if you've done P&O and you have done Iona or Alvia, they are big ships. They're family ships. They're double the size of the Marella ships. If you've done one with P&O, if you've done Ventura, if you've done Aurora, that size of ship, the smallest P&O ship is the same size as all the Marella ships. Marella is a very different kind of cruise. It's all inclusive. P&O isn't. It does include gratuities. It doesn't include drinks though. And Marella also include the flights and the transfers, whereas P&O, they sell a lot from the UK. So if you like one, you'll probably like the other. But it depends what your experience is with P&O. Like, a lot of people go on Iona. I've been on Arvia. I've taken my nieces on there. We had a great time. But also, I totally understand why some people go on there and think, whoa, this is too much. Totally get it. But if that was you, you would still like a Marella ship because they're much, much smaller. And generally less kids on the Marella cruises. Thanks for reminding me. This live stream is sponsored by Marella because they asked me, would I give you a discount code? Yes, I do that all the time. And I have booked another Marella cruise for myself using that discount code. So I've put when that is in the chat. If you'd like a winter bargain, it's a very, very good one. And it already feels like winter. So I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. Oh, there are pairs of stuffies that have magnets in the hand so they stick together. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be cool. And that would open up a whole world of things you could do with them in the cabin, because people always, you know, put them on top of things or have them hanging out with the towel animals and stuff. But if they were together, you could, like, I don't know, hang them from the ceiling because they have magnets. That would be pretty cool. I don't know if the company, it's a Canadian company that organizes all this stuff for me. I don't know if that's something they can do, but I could ask because that would be really cool. That's a good idea. I like that one. Which cruise line or ship has the best cookies? It's hard for me to say because every time I go somewhere and have a good cookie, I suddenly claim that that's the best cookie because it is kind of the best cookie within my memory. And I think I've done that like 10 times. I did at one point write an article on my website about cruise ship cookies, and that has a lot of pictures. So you can decide which ones look good to you. But generally, I think Celebrity are pretty good because of the access to cookies is almost constant, and they're pretty good. And Princess cookies are very good. There's certain cruise lines where, like, if you can find the cookies, they're amazing, but they're hard to find. And I think that's just as important as how the cookies actually are, if that makes sense. Yeah, I like the idea of the magnets. Quite funny. I used to have a course, how to cruise for less. Is this no longer available? What I did with that course was I basically took it, and it used to be a video course, but I took it, I made it into all of these emails, and you can still get those emails. The video one doesn't exist anymore. It's very expensive to host. Like, it cost me more money than I ever made from that. So yeah, if you go to my website, go emmacruises.com/insiders guide, you will find all of that information in there. It does need an update though. I am working on basically a very long YouTube video that is everything. But even still, I recorded that a couple of months ago. It's going to take months to edit. But even still, in that video, I said things like Virgin Voyages, they're an all-inclusive cruise line, and how they come out with other stuff. So I'm going to have to go and do a lot of notes on it. It's just impossible to keep up with. I try my best, though. I try my best. What is today's beverage? It is a peppermint tea, and I have it in my DCL Duo mug, which I've had for many, many years. I don't know, many, many years. But I did a DCL Duo podcast this week with my Cruise Maps co-founder, Matt. So that was really, really cool. Will you do a collab with Trek Trendy? I would love to. I love Will. I think we'd have a great time. But the problem is he's not on the cruises that I'm on. I would love to see Will. For those of you who don't know, Will does the most amazing cruises in the most expensive suites. He will stay in, the funnel suites. He just did a Royal Caribbean cruise, the one that has the slides in the suites. He does the most luxurious cruise lines. He does trains, he does planes, he does everything like that. I love it. But we just haven't crossed over yet because I've never seen him, on a Marella cruise or a Carnival cruise or anything like that. So I would love to. I hope we can make it happen one day. It'd be so interesting to see how we could take the same cruise and do it completely differently. Because I took a cruise on Symphony of the Seas, and Will was on a very similar one a little while after. But looking at our videos, I don't think we would have ever bumped into each other because he was, in the specialty restaurants every night. I didn't do any specialty restaurants, I don't think. But I was in the theatre every day. I don't think he went to the theatre. Like, we could have had a completely different cruise, and that's what's fun about cruising, right? Like, there's people who get up very early and they go to exercise classes while I'm still asleep, and that's great. That's good. Yeah. Do you prefer family adults or older generation cruises? I like a cruise with a mix. I don't think any cruise is great if everyone is all the same, because it's just nice when people want to do different things and people spread out more. So my ideal cruise is a real mix of ages. I mean, adult only is fine. I'm not cruising with any kids most of the time, so that's fine. But I certainly don't have any problem if it is an older generation's cruise. Like, yeah, I think a good mix of ages, a good mix of, different countries that people are from. That's my personal favorite. Yeah, you could do a Virgin cruise, but at different tiers. Yeah, I do have a Virgin cruise book, but I booked it before the tiers came in, so I still have everything as it was. But it'll be interesting to see. Are you a main dining room or buffet person on embarkation day? If I can, straight to that main dining room. There's nothing better than getting on board while it's still lunchtime, because that means you've got quite an early embarkation time. You're quite lucky if you can get on board for lunch. Some cruises, you might embark at 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m. I embarked a cruise at 1:30 in the morning once. That's the latest embarkation or earliest embarkation, depending on how you want to say it. But if the main dining room is open on any cruise I go on and I can go there for lunch, I'm going there straight away. The buffet is very, very busy on embarkation day. Of course it is. It's sort of the default place for people to go to. But if you can get in a main dining room, you've got your own seat. Someone else is waiting on you. You probably have your bags because you're room's not ready yet, so you can sit down and just leave your bag there. And yeah, really, really good. Love it. First or second seating, always first seating. I've never found a first seating that is too early. Like, if I have my way, 5 p.m. is the perfect time for dinner. I push my dinner till 6 doing this live stream, and I'm hungry. So yeah, early all the way, please. Yeah, main dining room lunch is always great. Some cruise lines will have the main dining room open for lunch on just sea days. Some will have it every day, and some never will. Some never will. What is your top tip for a first-time cruise on Marella? For me, it's go to the theatre shows, because I absolutely love Marella's theatre shows. It's just so fun. I think my tip would have been, maybe 6 months ago, to upgrade to the premium drinks package so that you could get cans of soda instead of fountain soda if you are a soda drinker like me. But they do now have, in the included package, Pepsi, and the upcharge is Coke. So I've stopped paying for the upgrade because I don't want to upgrade from Pepsi to Coke. That's not an upgrade for me. So, but it depends, you know, if you're someone who likes a premium cocktail or something like that, maybe it's worth upgrading. But for me, there's nothing better than those included bottles of Pepsi. But yeah, it's very different. If you've cruised with other cruise lines and then you go to Marella, it's really strange to, you know, everything's included. You're not gonna, if you go somewhere, they're not gonna charge you like a gratuity, or it's just included. Like, you've just paid your price and you can come off paying £0, which is very strange when, you know, I'm quite used to cruising with cruise lines like Norwegian. You know, if I go in the casino on Norwegian, it costs a fee to add money to my account. I got charged the taxes for the drinks. Like, that doesn't happen on Marella. It's just different. If you come across from one cruise line to Marella, I think you'll be very relaxed. There's a lot of first-time cruisers on Marella, though. I would say more than most other cruise lines. What are your thoughts on the Virgin Voyages changes, says Sam. So for those of you who don't know, Virgin Voyages, I think their unique selling point for me has always been that they include stuff like soft drinks. They include all the specialty restaurants. Like, there's no extra charge restaurants, which is really rare in cruising. But they've sort of introduced the thing that's like a plane, you know, where you have like an essentials, the middle one, but you always need the middle one because it has a bag, and then the top one, that kind of thing. And I think it just makes it confusing. Whereas we all knew, you know, everyone who's a travel agent or anyone who works like me in the industry, we all knew that that's what it is. You know, if I'm recommending it to my friends, it's like, book Virgin, you'll have to just pay this price. That's it. Not anymore. It's just a bit complicated. We'll see. I think I'm a bit pessimistic in that when they've done 3 tiers, they're saying the price will stay the same for the middle one, but I'm pretty sure that will become the lower one, right? And then everything will get charged more. I don't know. We will see. We will see. They've always been an interesting cruise line. Yeah, comment says, I wish Marella sailed to more places. Yes, not a warm weather cruise person. Yeah, they used to do Baltic cruises, which I took a 2-week Baltic cruise with Marella, my first Marella cruise, and that was great. But yeah, at the moment it's Canary Islands, Med, and Caribbean. That's that is the downside. That is the downside. Wanted to say hello from sunny South Carolina. Oh my goodness. The rain on my roof is so loud right now. It is feeling very wintry. And it's also just not got light today. It just feels like it's been dark all day. But it is what it is. It's this time of year. I miss summer already. Have you seen Pepsi gingerbread? No. Interesting. Oh, Peter says, I'm sailing on Breakaway Monday the 9th. Very excited. That sounds amazing. So I am working on the full Breakaway video that I have coming out. That's going to be sort of 20-30 minutes. It's quite a long one. But I do already have my studio solo cabin review out. And the video is doing really well. It's what I was hoping for, because I know people like to see me cruising inside cabins. That's always been the thing since the beginning of time. And this is even smaller. So I'm sort of giving you hopefully what you want, but even more. Yeah. Why do you think TUI decided to steal Marella's new ships? I don't know, but also I think it was 2030 something, right? I can't think about what's going to happen in 2030 beyond. That's too far. Things change so much. I can't. Yeah, I don't think you can count on anything that's that far away. Yeah, who knows? I mean, they could undo that. They could be having something else. Like, no one knows. No one knows. 80 Fahrenheit in Minnesota. I don't know what that means. There's something about halving it, taking away 15, something like that. I don't know. And I can't Google it. Normally I'd Google it. Yeah, this is the most perfect question format. So if you can leave your question with question in capital letters, just helps me to pick out what is a question. We do have exciting cruise maps news this week. So at Cruise Maps headquarters, we have the MSC partnership launched, which is amazing. I don't have an example yet, but if you see our Cunard partnership, we have the Cunard logo there. And the MSC one's even better because it has a little ship on it. So that'll be so cool. So cool. About 30 degrees. Yeah, that's hot. That's as hot as it ever gets here. But when you're going on MSC cruises in the future, you will be able to see our maps on display. So please tag me if you see any of them. It's going to be really, really cool. Big cruise line MSC. That's a big one for our business. Very exciting. So yes, 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 yes. I'm surprised you can hear me over the rain. It's so noisy. Yeah, some comments. I think I can see the comments coming through fine. Yeah, maybe it's a bit slow. A crumpet or a muffin? Do you mean like what is called an English muffin, like where you toast it and cut it in half? Because I would pick that one over a crumpet. I would like a crumpet though. I've not had a crumpet in probably years. Probably years. Can barely hear you over the rain in my house. Yes, in my house, like when it's raining this bad, the cat flap, like you can hear the rain through the cat flap. Yeah. Interesting. What on earth is a muffin? A crumpet muffin? That sounds so good. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. We did have a day. We had a day last week where on the cruise globe, I'm going to ask you actually, I'm going to do a quiz. How many cruises do you think we had added by you to the cruise globe in one day? So do you think it was 1,000 in a day, 3,000 in a day, or 10,000 in a day? Let me know what you think. You've been busy. Whichever answer it is, you've been very busy. 0, says Jamie. It was more than 0. If you said more than 0. Steve says cat flap. Yeah, the flap for the cat to go outside. Pet door. Oh my goodness. Do you call them pet doors? You don't have cat flaps. Yes, you do. Oh, lots of guesses. John says 3,000. Karen says 10,000. Jamie still says 0. Connie says 3,000. And my dad's in here. Hello to my dad. My dad has got it right at 10,000 cruises added in one day. So you can see now why we have a big team working on these maps. It is a tiny percentage of the cruises that do need a human to check them. But if you have a tiny percentage of 10,000, that is massive, as you can imagine. So yeah, very, very busy. Very busy. How often does Marella come out with a discount code? Thinking to try them next fall. Most of the time they have some sort of discount code. Some are better than others. I have a guide on how to find them on my website because they're not always obvious. Like it will let you book the cruise without a discount code. So you have to find the discount code. But if you just type in Emma Cruises Marella discount, then you'll find my guide and all the links and all the screenshots and stuff like that. Stephen says, can you show your YouTube awards? I mean, this is the only YouTube, I guess, award that I have. This is my silver play button. And honestly, it's not great quality. Like the Emma Cruises and the 100,000 you get that for, the one is come off. So it just says 0000 subscribers. So we keep that one in the back. But the next time you get a plaque is 1 million. So that seems just crazy. Crazy, crazy. Oh, Jack says, be sure to hit the like button. That would be lovely if you could do that. YouTube is a funny game. It's a funny place to be. And I've been on here for a very long time. I made my first video in 2017, if you can believe it, long time ago. I look so afraid of the camera. But yeah, the more you can engage, the more you comment, the more you like, the more YouTube will show you these things. Neil says 0 subscribers. Yeah, 000 subscribers. That's what I meant by 0 cruises added. Yes, just say more than 0 and then you'll be correct. Oh my goodness. Waited up for the stream. Sydney, 2:20 a.m. Oh my goodness, Sydney. Thanks. That's crazy. I've never been to Sydney. I would love to. I've never been to Australia at all. Yeah. I have very much interest in an Australian cruise. Yeah. It's just incredibly far away. It's a very long flight. It's very expensive. And I don't think while I'm, running my current business, I can take off enough time, really, honestly. Because if I go to Australia, I want to do it properly. So yeah. Should be getting gold around Christmas. I don't think so. My next landmark, I guess, would be 500,000, but then 600,000, 700,000. I did see something interesting actually in YouTube in the analytics this month. So I think subscribers is completely a pointless number. I think YouTube should delete it because you could have a page, you can have a YouTube page that you opened in 2005, which is when I think YouTube launched, 2005. So yeah, you can have 20 years worth of subscribers. Some of them have not logged in for 15 years and it still counts as a subscriber. So it's kind of pointless, don't you think? And also YouTube, because you subscribe, it doesn't tell you that my videos come out. So it doesn't work the way people think it is. It's a good sign. It helps, but it's not that simple. Like, it's not like I can publish a video and it will show it to 400,000 people. Like, I wish. That's not how it works. So I saw inside analytics, it had a monthly like active viewers or something like that. And mine was like 700,000. That would be a much better number, wouldn't it? Like, who is actually here this month? I don't know if YouTube will ever change that though, because subscribers are so yeah, it's just like a historical, like kind of a vanity metric. Exactly. Some of them may no longer be alive. Yeah, like a good percent. Probably. But it just seems yeah, I think it's just too ingrained. Oh, combo plushie idea. Hudson and Rolo on a tender boat. That's like a 3 because you get the Hudson, the Rolo, and a boat. That would be very cool. That would be so cool. Have you considered producing cruise maps onto Christmas baubles? The actual map on a bauble? I think that would be really, really, really difficult, which would make it very, very expensive. It would probably be like £200 a bauble. So probably not. I like the idea though. There's other Christmas things we can do, but I think a bauble is just really hard. And bauble, that is a Britishism, I think. I don't think you guys call baubles outside of the UK. Inside a bauble, maybe. That does not sound like a word. I think it's a Britishism. I think you would just say like a Christmas tree decoration, but it's a very specific type. It's like the circle one. I don't know how else to say it. Wayne says, how do I sign up for your newsletter? So just go to emmacruises.com/news, put in your email address, and then I'll email you normally Friday evenings. I normally send it after this live stream, or Saturday if I don't have time and not everything's ready. You can unsubscribe anytime. It's free. It's where I have, my most important things to say in there. Christmas ornaments, yeah. But Christmas ornament means so many different things, so many different shapes. Yeah, a globe, exactly. Like a globe would be a great, I guess it would be a great bauble, but I can't really imagine like how tiny that would be. I think it'd be really hard. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, what's a bauble? I knew that this was a thing. Can I post a link to my daylight lamp? I have had about 4, I think, all different brands. So no, because I don't know which one you want. Honestly, just go on Amazon and just type in lamp. I do have, I think, a page on my website. If you go to emmacruises.com/lamp, but they all pretty much work the same way. I will say, if it's a branded name, if it is not, the difference really is how easy it is to set up and use. But the light thing is pretty much the same. Yeah, lamp. I've had loads. My mum and dad have one. We have 2. There's loads. Do you make cookies at home, or are cookies a treat? I don't think I've made a cookie 10 years, maybe. I don't think I've baked anything, honestly. I do enjoy baking. I did used to make cakes occasionally, but I just don't have the time or the space. So I would just buy things. Gotta be honest with you. I'd like to one day, though. I call them Christmas balls. Interesting. Yeah. When you're on a cruise, how much are you there for work versus enjoying the cruise? Part two, do you go on a cruise without filming? No. I tried 2 or 3 years ago to take a cruise where I didn't film everything. I still filmed a cabin tour. I still did a live stream, but I can't do it really. I can't do it, and I don't want to do it honestly. So it's not really, if I wanted to take like a holiday, I would just go the absolute opposite and go in the woods by myself and turn off my phone. But I'm not going to do that. I've not taken a day off work. I don't know, 5 years, maybe, probably. Yeah, but my office is the most amazing place in the world. So I enjoy it, of course. Most of my cruises I pick because there is some sort of interesting story there. I think that's not a secret. But I enjoy my work. Of course I do. What do I need to know to add a 80s cruise on a now defunct line on Cruise Globe? So it might already be there. If you are the first person to ever think of this cruise ship or cruise line, you might have to send us an email. So if you can't find it, email us hello@thecruisemaps.com. But for these older cruises, we need to know where you went because we don't know where the ship went. So if you have any, paperwork, any booking information, if you know which ports you went to, that's what we need. We need to know which ports it went to. What we are doing with the cruises before the data existed is we are basically looking at where cruise ships go since the data has existed. And we're saying, this is the most common route based on 400,000 cruises or something like that. And then we put that port to port. We know where to draw the lines. But we do need to know where it went because we don't know. So if you know, then all good. If not, you can just Google sometimes the older cruises and it will be like a really old travel agent's page or something like that. Yeah. Your work life sounds unhealthy, but you're an expert on yourself. Just take care because we love you and don't want you to exhaust yourself. Oh, thank you very much. I think this is just my personality. The fact that I built up this business while I had a full-time job and I spent all of my lunchtimes, evenings, weekends doing this for 5 years before I went full-time. I don't think most people would do that. I don't necessarily know if that's a healthy thing to do, but I'm having great fun. And all the time I'm having fun, then I'll keep having fun and I'll keep sharing it. I just see my mum in here answering a question that says she'll probably say her favorite is Norwegian Spirit. And if we're talking about favorite cruise ships, it probably is. Yeah. Which USB-C daylight lamp do you have? I don't have a USB-C daylight lamp. It's like the old one. Yeah, I have a Lumi one at the moment, I think. If you want to look for Lumi. But I've never had any that they're all pretty much the same. Gotta be honest. Yeah, thank you so much. You are very welcome. Yeah. It's really interesting, I think, to see the pre-2015 cruises. Just to sort of fill in the gaps in the collection, if nothing else. Like, it's nice to have a full set, right? I see a comment that says I should film in 4K. I don't want to film in 4K. I'm filming everything on an iPhone. And when I come back from a cruise, I have 1,000+ clips on my phone. If they were in 4K, it would take up so much more storage. It would take more time to edit. It would take more time to transfer. It would stress me out being in 4K. I don't want to be in 4K. Why don't you be in 4K? Film your own face in 4K and then put it on the internet for people to watch on their TV and see how you feel about that. Because you probably won't like it. Lucas says, is the food on MSC really that bad? All I've seen is stick to the pasta and the pizza. I don't think it's bad. I've done 7, 8 MSC cruises now. I think it's got a lot better. My first one was in 2012. I think that was just MSC has just changed a lot since 2012. Most cruise lines have, but I don't think the food's bad. If you just Google Emma Cruises MSC food, on one of my MSC cruises, I took a picture of every single meal I had. Obviously, that's what I chose in the buffet, so might not be what you choose. But I don't think anything there looks bad. it's just different food suits different people. A lot of people come on an MSC cruise and they say, oh, the portions are so small. You know, I go on some of the other cruise lines and I think these portions are so big, so big. But it just depends what you like. Like they're really good at pasta and pizza and bread. They're so good at bread. Some other cruise lines can't do bread very well. So yeah, thank you to my mum for sharing that. Appreciate it. I don't think any of the daylight alarm clocks are. Well, I always have mine plugged in, which does cause trouble when some of the cruise ships you have to put your cruise card in to keep the lights on. You can put other cards on, but it just means the light resets sometimes, which is kind of annoying. But it is what it is. Do you enjoy super ships, Icon, MSC World? So I have done, the biggest Royal Caribbean ship I've done is Symphony of the Seas, which isn't Icon big, but it is pretty big. I've also done World Europa for MSC, which is a big cruise ship. It was really interesting because I did Symphony of the Seas and World Europa very close together. And to see just the similarities and the differences was really interesting. Really, really interesting. Are you doing an inside cabin on your Virgin cruise? Not sure I've seen anything other than balconies. I'm not. I'm treating myself to a balcony because I want to go in that hammock. But I do have friends who are staying in an inside cabin. So I'll do the review. You know, this is mine. That's what the inside's like. It's basically exactly the same. Yeah. What I want to see, though, is the inside cabins where you have 4 people in them and you sort of sleep L shape and then L shape on the ceiling. I think that would be cool. But I don't want to. I don't have 3 friends who I want to share that room with. So yeah, yeah, yeah. I just don't want to film in 4K. I see no benefit to me filming in 4K. I don't want to. That's it. Do you sleep on the ceiling? Not quite. Not quite on the ceiling. Yeah. Comments like this: if you want bad food, sail on Arcadia. There's no cruise ship that I've ever been on, ever, where I haven't had an email from someone saying that this was the worst cruise that they've ever taken and the food was terrible and there was nothing going on and everything, and it's so worn down and it's the worst ship at the sea. And it's every cruise I've ever taken, whether that is a yacht or a Costa cruise, it is the worst cruise for somebody, and somebody hates everything about it. Like, it's just how it is, because just statistics. Yeah. I adore the I don't want to, so I'm not going to. Yeah, a lot of my job, you know, is saying no to things as well as saying yes to things, right? Yeah, be filming my face in 240. Exactly. Yeah. How do you transfer your videos to your laptop? Just with a cable. I do quite often use AirDrop to back things up while I'm away, but yeah, just with the cable. Yeah. Oh, Hudson's back. Hudson, good boy. Come here for some dreamies. He might be all wet 'cause I think he's been outside. Hudson, dreamies. Come on then. Everyone wants to see you. So this is the real Hudson. I know. So meowy. You saying hi? Say hi. There you go. That was a good meow. But this is the real Hudson, the cat who is behind Captain Hudson, who is the cat who is on my blanket. Hudson. Yes. He's such a good boy. He is a good boy. Aren't you? Good boy. Yeah, he's all wet. He's been in the garden. But yeah, this is the real Hudson. The real Hudson. Let me see if he'll let me. Oh, you're so wet, Hudson. There he is. There you are, gorgeous. You're right. Oh, yes. Everyone's that way. There we go. Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute. Donald says, my 10 cats say hi to Hudson. 10 cats. 10 cats, Hudson. Meow, meow, meow. Does he still give high fives? I don't think he can anymore. Hudson, high five. High five. High five. He's forgotten. Hudson, high five. Oh, he did it. Oh, my goodness. You're so clever. Oh, my gosh. You can have so many dreamings for that. That was really good. I thought he'd forgotten. He's not done that in a while. Maybe he just needed you to ask. Yeah, that's it. He needed you to ask. Oh, you are a good boy. Thank you for joining our live stream. Yeah. Can you take Hudson on a cruise ship? No. That's easy. That's no. It's more complicated with dogs. I mean, I could take Hudson, I guess, on a transatlantic on Queen Mary too, but I don't think I want to. He doesn't need to go to America. Like he lives here. He's quite fine. So yeah. Oh my gosh, you're all wet. All wet, all wet. What do cruises do with your passport? Very anxious traveler who prefers to constantly check the existence of their passport. The fact they get taken away makes me feel very uneasy. It's not normal for them to be taken away. Oh my gosh, so much fluff. It doesn't happen on most cruises. Normally, I would say it just happens if you are in, Asia or somewhere where you have to go through a lot of different countries, then they'll do all the immigration for you. But it did happen on my recent cruise from Lisbon back to the UK with Carnival, and there was really no reason, as far as I can tell. But they did keep our passports on that cruise. So, make sure, obviously, on your phone you have a picture of your passport. Make sure you have your passport number. And make sure you have some other ID so that you can, I'll go out in port and I'll have at least my driving license. Oh, Hudson, you're so cute. Hudson's staying to supervise. He is. I think he knows that there's like dreamy dust around, so he wants to. He's trying to do more high fives. Hudson, high five. High five. You see, he's trying. Hang on. Now we've taught him. High five. There we go. Good boy. All right. You can probably finish this packet of dreamies because you're so clever. There you go. That's it now because that will make you ill if you have any more. Yeah. Yeah, you normally don't need it, really. For sure. Oh my gosh. Went on a travel agent sailing where I got to see all the cabin types of Valiant Lady. Have you been on a type of sailing where the cruise line shows you the cabins? Yes. And I love it. I think it is so fun. I wish they would do this if they had spare cabins on a normal cruise, like a cabin crawl. Sometimes they used to do that on Cruise Critic. Like a lot of people would meet up and they would go round together. Doesn't really happen so much anymore. I think COVID, stopped people going to other people's rooms. So that kind of stopped. But yeah, I did a recent like overnight travel agent kind of sailing, like you, Charlie, for Brilliant Lady. So that was very cool. And if I do like a new ship launch, like I did Norwegian Aqua, they had certain times where they had all the cabins open. So you could go see a inside cabin, you could go see a suite, you could go see this and that. It was so cool. I genuinely think that people would be interested in doing that just for fun, right? And maybe it would make them more likely to, like, next time. For me, if I'm staying in an inside cabin, I get to go look at the balcony. Maybe they could even like upgrade you from that point if you want to pay and get some more money. What's his favorite flavor of Dreamies? This one is Heavenly Tuna. Tuna. But there's not any flavor of Dreamies that he doesn't like. So yeah. Need a cabin crawl. That sounds so cool. Yeah, it used to be really cool. Yeah, David's done them in the past. Yeah, it used to be a thing. It did used to be crowded. Yeah, you get like 20 people all going around together to look at these different cabins. But yeah, they just sort of stopped during the pandemic. One of the few things that has not come back. Yeah. Smash the like button, helps the channel. Yes, please, if you can. Thank you very much to you guys who also remind other people to like the button. I think that's really nice. Thank you very, very much. Do you think Virgin Voyages will add a new class of ship? And if so, what should they change, says Sam. Interesting. I don't know what I would change about Virgin. I've only done one proper Virgin Voyages cruise. Oh, look at Hudson just washing his head. But I do have another one. Sorry, no one's listening. We're distracted. Yes, me too, trying to talk. And also, look at this cute little boy. You're so handsome. You are. You're a really handsome cat. And also, you have raised $180,000, Hudson, for charity. Do you know what that means? Nope. Yeah. He's looking good. He is looking good. He's a good boy. He's getting a bit old, but How often do you see people using the gym facilities on a cruise? So I don't use the gym facilities, so I don't see people using it. But, if I peer in or if there's windows and I can see in, there's always people in the cruise ship gyms. Very popular. I have friends, that go every single day on a cruise. I just walk up 10 flights of stairs now and again, and that is a workout. Hudson the charitable. Yes. Yeah, some cruise ships have really nice gyms. Like they quite often give the nice window views to gyms. And so you might have, people on a treadmill running and like looking at the sea, which is way more interesting than a normal gym, right? Where you're just looking at a wall or looking at other people in the gym. Yeah. My dad says we did the gym on Emerald. That is true. We did go to the gym on there because that was what do they call it? A super yacht, like a very big yacht and a very tiny gym. But it was nice. It was a good gym. But also we weren't walking up 10 flights of stairs because there was only 3 or 4 or 5, maybe. Yeah. Will there be any more Hudson plushies? I started following you a month ago and would love to buy one. So yes, we had a brief chat about this earlier. So if you want to see that again, just rewind to the beginning. But what I am thinking for the next version is we're currently waiting for the first mate Rolos to arrive, which is very exciting. But as soon as something like this arrives, obviously people go on cruises, take pictures, they share it. It spreads the word more than the first time. So I'm expecting to get emails and things asking to buy First Mate Rolo. And I get comments like yours, of course, people who missed out on Hudson. So I was thinking of doing a duo, like a two-pack with a Hudson and with a Rolo in it. And we'll do, we'll just split the money between, they have their own charities that it goes to. And I think that would be good. It would be nice to raise money for Mercy ships again. The ship is back in Sierra Leone again, which, they do amazing work there. And also, yeah, who doesn't love dogs? Who doesn't love looking after little dogs? So yeah, that's my plan. That will be the start of next year, though, probably. But I need to think of an idea like this week if I want to get this live. February it takes a long time. So let me know. Let me know how I can match them up because I want them to be together, but not like, I don't want it to be like a Halloween costume, like really over the top. Jamie says, you just reminded me, I've got a pack of Rolos in the kitchen. I don't think I've had a Rolo since I've had my Rolo dog. But now I think of him as a dog. I don't think of that. I'm like, pack of Rolos? Like a group of dogs? Yeah. Oh, Tracy says, we love Captain Hudson. Our Stuffy was a Christmas gift and he joined us on Wonder for a week and now he comes with us on all vacations. Yes, this cat and the dog soon has the best life. The best life. $180,000. How many Hudsons is that? So it's a bit over 9,000 Hudsons across the 5 versions that we've had. We also had, as well as the buy a toy and donate money, we had just a donation thing because some people, they want to support, but they don't, they don't necessarily need a stuffed toy. Totally get it. So some of that was just money, but I'm putting it all under Hudson's name. It wouldn't happen without Hudson. There was also, for the first few versions, there was someone who matched the money that we raised. So that was very cool. Very, very cool. My mum says she'll buy me some Rolos next time. That would be good. I would like some Rolos. I like a Rolo. Oh, Faye says, yes, please, for Hudson and Rolo. Yes. I think that would be good fun. And that's kind of what I really want is when these start arriving and people start spreading, the word, there to be somewhere where people can go so that I can, keep an email list or something and then I can email them out. So yeah, you could fill the world's biggest cruise ship with 9,000 Hudsons. I know, crazy. For some reason, the streaming software wants to see my text that I've copied to clipboard. No. Who knows what text I've copied to clipboard? I don't want that coming up on the screen. I think it would just be the post of me asking you guys what outfits you should have on Rolo and Hudson. But anyway, which did you like better, Symphony of the Seas or World Europa? Tricky, because on Symphony of the Seas, I only got off 1 day out of 7 days, and I still didn't complete that ship. I didn't manage to do everything. So it was a very, very busy, very fun cruise. I really like the entertainment a lot. The diving shows, the theater shows are amazing. The ship is really, really cool. Like, I love the park in the middle. It was amazing. World Europa was also great. The bit at the back, they didn't really use that in the same way as they do on Royal Caribbean. My World Europa cruise, 50% of the price, maybe, of Symphony of the Seas. So I went into it with different expectations. But I went on World Europa with my brother. He had a great time. We went roller skating. That was fun. I would do either again, for sure. Have I done a Iona ship tour? A long time ago. I've been on Iona twice. 2021 was the first time, just after the pandemic, and it was really quiet. So the content from that one, you can see everything. Obviously, ignore, that was when we would have every other seat closed off in the theater, that kind of thing. But yeah, if you want to check out, I think I did videos about going from the biggest ship to the oldest ship. I've been on Arvia more recently. So yeah. Just my mum talking about there's no Morrisons where Emma lives. Interesting. Morrisons are known for having a resident cat. Really? Morrisons is a supermarket, for those of you who don't know. Do you check bags or go carry-on only? Is it different if you don't fly? I have done cruises before where I have done carry-on only. I've also done cruises where, it's a carry-on bag, but I don't carry it on. I don't really see the point. I know some people really like to keep their suitcase with them, but I think honestly it just slows down the whole embarkation process if someone is trying to put this massive suitcase through the scanner, and then it just honestly it's quite annoying. Unless you have, if you have valuable things in a bag, fair enough. But yeah, I think people should let the luggage go where the luggage is supposed to go, personally. But yeah, I have done cabin size on a plane to go to, the Caribbean for a week. That's totally fine. Yeah. How noticeable are security people on most cruises? Most cruises, you won't see any security people. If I do, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I remember seeing someone on my Carnival cruise recently and being like, interesting. But also, I'm not awake in the club at 2 a.m, which is probably where the security people are. If they need any, they can call the security people anytime. But I'm probably just not where they would be. Yeah. Oh, Helen says, I nearly missed the stream. That reminds me that we have less than 15 minutes to go on the stream. This has actually warmed me up, which is really nice. It's been really cold all day, really dark. And this is nice and snuggly with the blanket and the cup of tea. So thanks. Thanks for warming me up. If you do have any sort of quick fire questions, please drop them in the chat and I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. Just a reminder, if ever I don't get the chance to answer your question and you would like me in this exact position answering your question, I do a podcast every single week. I do it for my YouTube members and also my Patreons. Not every week, every month, for my Patreons and channel members. And that's like guaranteed I answer everybody's questions. I can also do more research then. So I think maybe my answers are a bit better. But yeah, I think it is $5 a month that starts out. And there's a free month I think you can get. So yeah. What is for tea, says Matthew. Matthew, you know the answer to this question. You know. It is pizza, of course. It is pizza. What is the temperature? It feels like about 10 degrees. I'm not sure if that's true. It feels like that, though. It's freezing. It's freezing, freezing, freezing. I like this, says Hudson and Rollover. His name's Rolo, but Rollover is a really great name for him. Are going to Hawaii in November. So yes, they should be arriving all through October. So fingers crossed he's ready and he's ready to go to Hawaii. That would be amazing. That would be so good. For someone who's worried about seasickness, you said to go on a big ship, low down, midship. But which of those is more important in that order? Low down, midship. Midship, I'd say. Midship would be my main choice. Out of all of those, midship. Then low down, and then the ship size. When I say big ship, I just mean don't go on a really old ship that's 35 years old, because chances are it doesn't have the greatest stabilizers. So, yeah. But the difference, even if you are on deck 12 from the front to the middle, if you are in rough seas, it is a big difference. A big difference. Tea is ketchup with a little pizza. I love that. That's exactly it. Ketchup and a way to get the ketchup to my mouth, which is the pizza. In Germany, it's 12 degrees Celsius. Yes. I haven't been to Germany for ages. I went through a period of time where it felt like I was in Germany every couple of months, and I miss it. I did some really good cycling cruises there. It was lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. My next cruise is a 35-year-old ship. Nothing wrong with 35-year-old cruise ships, of course. I'm just saying, newer ships tend to have better stabilizers. Generally. You can't make a generalization, of course. We'd love to see Emma try ranch dressing with pizza. I did try it on Norwegian Breakaway. They had it as an option in Oceans. So I thought, I'm going to get ranch with my. I had like salad and it was like chicken and stuff. It just tasted of salad cream to me, which I don't think it's the same thing. But anyone who's from the UK who's had salad cream and ranch, is it the same? Because it just tastes the same to me. Emily says, where can I get the blanket you're using? I'm afraid you can't. It was a thing that I had on my store, but it got too expensive that I could not, in good faith, sell it. It was embarrassing. So I got rid of it. What was the result of the poll? I don't remember what the poll was. Let me know. I forget straight away as soon as I've done something. Jamie says not quite, but similar. Yeah, maybe. Similar. Not the same. It just tasted like that to me. Oh, ranch is kind of like Domino's herb dip. Salad cream is tangy and sweet. Maybe I've not had salad cream in a long enough time. Salad cream Britishism. Yeah, it's a creamy sauce for a salad, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I have to have the two side by side. But also I didn't like the ranch that time, really. So probably I'll stick with ketchup. Ketchup and barbecue sauce. Can't go too wrong with that. Not together. Ranch is like Pizza Express dressing. Now we're speaking a language that I understand. Okay. Okay, well that's all right. That's fine. Oh, this comment says, I go as high as I can right at the front because I want a bit of rock and roll. Great. Some people love it. And also, when I went on my cruise recently and I took Bonine, the seasickness medicine that Sherry from Cruise Tips TV gave me that she got in America somewhere, when I took that medicine, I was completely enjoying the movement. I was like out trying to make things move around. I was filming things. I was looking on purpose at the horizon. It was really strange. I was like, is this what you guys feel like the entire time? You non-seasick people? It was great. But most cruises are not like that. Most cruises, I don't take seasickness medicine. I don't feel ill. I've been very lucky recently. My recent cruise, Norwegian Breakaway, smooth, so smooth. Even my cruise on Norwegian Star up to Iceland, it was like a pond. Super, super smooth. My Marella cruise was really smooth. Maybe I shouldn't be listing all the recent smooth cruises that I've had, or I'll get a dodgy one. I don't know. Dodgy is another Britishism, I think. Michael says, do you have a daylight lamp or equivalent for your solo cabin on NCL ships, or does the window offer enough light? Concerned about my circadian rhythm and waking with light. So I took my own daylight alarm clock when I stayed in the solo studio cabin. I did put out the review this week, so if you do check that out, you will see it. It's there. I think maybe I talk about it briefly, but I did not leave the window thing open because it's just into the corridor, and the lights, I don't think they never turn off in the corridor. So that's not really a very good option because you'd always be awake. It does change color. It's like a nice calm purple in the evening and it gets brighter in the day, but still it would be too light for me to sleep, I think, like that. Did you book that NCL Epic cruise, says Neil? I haven't yet, but I'm very encouraged by everyone's reactions. So I took a cruise on NCL Epic in 2015, so a decade ago. And since then, I had a good time on that. I didn't think anything else of it. I had a good time on that cruise. I shared the cabin with my brother. Didn't think, it was just a good cruise. I had no dreams really of cruise blogging or anything like that. I wasn't thinking about it. And since then, I think this has become kind of Norwegian's most controversial cruise ship. She has no sister ships. She's completely unique. And I think there's some very good cruises on her next year. Very cheap, under £100 a night. And I just think it'll be just such a good story, right? And I'm sure, I have knowledge of almost all the other classes of Norwegian ships. And just to sort of look at it and be like, that's where this came from. I think it will just be interesting. So maybe for next summer. The overwhelming reaction is yes, we would like you to do that. So I probably or hopefully do that. The ship with the big forehead. Yes, I always think she looks like she has sunglasses on. And when you see it, you can't unsee it. So I think that was a change to the Haven that they sort of made kind of last minute, and they sort of just stuck it on the front. But it does look like he has sunglasses on. Yeah. I love the idea of you going on and reviewing Epic. Thank you very much. Bonin used to be sold in the UK, did it? You can't buy it here now. But the great thing for me is I'm on cruises all the time. They sell it on cruise ships. So I have quite a stash of that medicine. Yes. James says, hit the like button. Lots of us have statements. Yeah, if you have any statements that you want to throw out, we've got 5 minutes left on this live stream. So feel free to throw any statements out and I will agree, I guess, or disagree with your statement. Maybe. But yeah, I'm going to be here the same time next week. 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. Eastern. What videos do you have coming up next? So I have 2 videos, but going live at the same time. So this is my normal video for my channel about Norwegian Breakaway, you know, all the entertainment, the food, the specialty restaurants, where we went, all of that stuff that you're used to. My format, I've just disembarked a cruise, blah, 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 20 minutes, right? But I also have a video that I made, well, I'm making for Norwegian's channel, which is about the things like the little zip line, the ropes course, the slides that I had to get out of the escape hatch for. So that's going to be on Norwegian's channel, and then the full one's going to be on mine. And they'll go live at exactly the same time, linking at the end to each other. Obviously, the hope is that, you know, someone's watched my video, and then they'll go and watch theirs, and hopefully they'll watch theirs and go and watch mine. Because I went on Breakaway before. I did not go anywhere near the ropes course. I did not go anywhere near the slides. But for YouTube, I did. It didn't all go to plan, exactly. But it's a great video. It's a great video. Jack has a statement and says, this is the absolute best way to spend a Friday lunch hour, eating at my desk and watching your live stream. Oh, thank you so much, Jack. I hope your Friday afternoon goes well and fast. Friday afternoon can drag, so hopefully you get there. Oh, Bill says, Emma has to be one of the best role models for young female entrepreneurs in the UK. Thank you very much, Bill. That's very kind of you to say. If you do Norwegian Epic, you have to say Epic every time, like the Money Supermarket ad did. I can do that. If that's what you want, I can do that. Yeah. Would you like a chai tea or a matcha? I've not had either, so I wouldn't know which one to go for. Gotta be honest. Statement, hiya Emma. Hello, Harold. James says, drinking a beer at 2:30 a.m. Very nice. 2:30 a.m. My goodness. Oh, Harry Potter says, all of those that love Emma post emojis now. I can't believe there's 500 of you watching. That blows my mind. Blows my mind. And I'm very grateful that it has grown to that over such a long time. Because if, you know, I did my first live streams and there were 500 people there, probably would have cried. I would have said something very embarrassing. And now I think I'm actually quite good at thinking and then speaking. The only problem is I carry on the sentence while my brain is thinking about the next thing or reading the next comment. And then I sort of just have to trust my mouth to keep going on the same sentence, which is kind of hard sometimes. But I think we've got it. I think it's been, at least since 2020, we've been regularly doing these live streams. And I did my first one in 2017, which is quite a funny watch if you want to go see that. It's also funny because I agree with myself on almost everything. I'm like, yes, I agree. I agree. Yeah, same time, same place next. Yeah, same time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Yeah, if you can, just check that you're subscribed by pressing the button, because every time I do a live stream, I lose subscribers. Every time. I would quite like to gain some subscribers rather than lose them. So yeah. Great to finally catch a live. And where are you? Hopefully nowhere near this storm battering the north. No, I'm on the south coast. I'm as far south as you can get. And it's been raining all day. It's very dark. It's miserable. But it's not a storm. It's just drizzle. Just the regular drizzle that we're used to. Yeah. 3 a.m. in Sydney. Oh my goodness. Crazy, crazy. We have 1 minute. Quick fire questions. 1 minute. Go. What can you do in 1 minute? Love that you explain the use of the British language. Thank you. I never really planned to do that. But when you get the same question, I can see the same question 100 times. I feel like I need to tell people things. And it's just things that I don't realize until I get questioned on them. And then I find it really interesting. And I like to know what you guys call things. Like, you know, I'll just say something about, in the kitchen, I'll have it on the worktop. And then other people will call it like a counter, I guess, not a worktop. And just little things like that. Bill says Hermione should have been endgame with Harry. I wouldn't have been against that. That would be fine. That would be okay. 10 a.m. in California, 10 a.m. Whenever I hear 10 a.m., my brain always goes 10 a.m. Santa's coming from Elf. Where did I buy the jumper? This jumper. Let's have a look. M&S, Marks and Spencer's. Very nice. Yeah, have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Yes, thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. This has been so lovely to warm up and just chat. Santa, yeah, Santa. Jumper is a better word than sweatshirt. Well, all right. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to go and have my dinner. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Or if you're in Australia, I hope you get some sleep. Good night, or good day, or good morning. And I'll see you soon. All right. Bye.